School's 2021 graduation ceremony. We are happy that all of you could join us today, this evening, to celebrate this very special occasion with our graduating seniors. Let me first introduce our guests on stage with me this evening. Mr. Larry Robinson, Executive Board Member and College Planning Advisor. Ms. Sabrina Herrera, Director of Curriculum and Student Services. I am happy to introduce our educational staff. Teachers, please rise when I call your names. Please hold your applause until I have introduced them all. Mr. Ed Braddock, High School AP Biology. Ms. Stephanie Zavo, High School Spanish and ESOL. Ms. Rebecca Musco, High School English. Ms. Jenna Campbell, Middle School teacher. Ms. Sarah Plummer, High School AP Literature and English. Ms. Latricia Carson, High School Math. Dr. Aaron Robinson, High School Social Studies and Law. Mr. Chris Rosicki, High School Math and History. Not in attendance today is Ms. Natalie Edmond, High School Science. I would also like to recognize some special guests in attendance tonight. Mr. Thomas Dempsey, owner and CEO of Saddlebrook Resort. Mr. Pat Cassia, General Manager of Saddlebrook Resort. Mr. Patrick Dasick, Director of Tennis. Mr. Mark Hershey, Director of Golf. Ms. Katrina and Ms. Nona Wall, Ms. Katrina Keys and Ms. Nona Wall, the heart of our office. I'm not sure what I would do without these two ladies. Now let's recognize our senior class of 2021 by having them stand while their names are announced. Valedictorian Samuel William Winter. He is a tennis player from Essex, England. Sam is an honors graduate and a member of National Honor Society. He is attending Coker University in Hartsville, South Carolina, and playing on the men's tennis team. Salutatorian Daisy Moses. She's a tennis player from Nairobi, Kenya. Daisy is an honors graduate, president of Student Council, and member of the National Honor Society. She is attending the University of Tampa in Tampa, Florida. Natalie Julia Eckerman. She is a golfer from Munich, Germany. Lily is an honors graduate and a member of National Honor Society. She's attending the University of Alabama Honors College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. She's a tennis player from New Delhi, India. Nisa is an honors graduate and a member of the National Honor Society. She will be attending New York University in spring of 2022 in New York City, New York. Justin Lopez Perea. He is a tennis player from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Justin is attending Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona. Leo Mann. He's a golfer from Sugar Land, Texas. Leo is attending West Liberty University in West Liberty, West Virginia. That's a lot of Wests. West Liberty University and West Liberty, West Virginia, and playing on the men's golf team. Ian Murphy Herndon. He's a golfer from Palm Harbor, Florida. Ian is attending Penn State University in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and playing on the men's golf team. Oliver Fialo Shag. He is a tennis player from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Oliver is an honors graduate and a member of the National Honor Society. He is attending Lafayette College in Easton, Pennsylvania, and playing on the men's tennis team. Mateus is taking a gap year to play on the Tampa Bay Junior Hockey Team. Not in attendance tonight, but we still want to recognize is Niels Nottebohm. He's a golfer from Mexico City, Mexico. He is attending Barton College in Wilson, North Carolina, and playing on the men's golf team. Now I would like to turn things over to Ms. Sabrina Herrera, as she will introduce our guest speaker for the evening.
Good evening. I would like to formally introduce our guest speaker for this evening. He earned his bachelor's and master's degree from Western Kentucky University and his AED from the University of South Florida. You may often see him on the sidewalks talking with a student, or you may speak to him on the phone, tapping into his vast knowledge of colleges and universities. He helped establish Saddlebrook Preparatory School 28 years ago, and he continues to work with our student athletes even today. He is a pillar of knowledge and strength within the Saddlebrook community. He was a past president of Zephyr Hills Rotary Club and the past governor of District 6590. He is an invaluable resource, teaming with over 50 years of service as an educational professional. He has served on the Pasco County Parks and Recreation Board of Directors and on the Pasco Board of Directors for Pasco County Hospitals. He was selected as the Rotarian of the Year and the Educator of the Year by Zephyr Hills Chamber of Commerce. I proudly introduce to you Mr. Larry Robinson.
I've decided in the future, if we ever need rain, we'll call graduation that day. And that way we'll have all the rain that we need, because we certainly here in Florida desperately needed rain. But good evening, graduates, parents, faculty, staff, and guests. 55 years ago this week, I was graduating from Shawnee High School in Louisville, Kentucky, with 450 of my closest friends. I went through elementary school, junior high school, and high school with many of them. And all of a sudden that evening, there we were, sitting there, waiting to graduate. I can tell you that some of the things that we were thinking that evening are the very things you're thinking this evening, like, how long is he going to talk? What's for dinner? And what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Some things have changed greatly in the last 55 years. Other things have not changed much at all. Back in the day, when we went to a football or basketball game, we wore coats and ties, especially if you had a date. Gasoline was 25 cents a gallon, and the world had never heard of COVID-19. Despite these changes, there are many things that have never changed, like right now, how proud your parents are of you as you're sitting here tonight getting ready to graduate from high school. Your excitement about going to college to start the next part of your life. The goodbyes you're going to share with friends that you might not ever see again. The promise of your future and all of the amazing things you can do with it. And the faith that I have in you to take the next steps into that future. I have known you seniors for a while, and I've had the pleasure of working and planning your college futures. I must say it was easier with some of you than with others. And I won't mention any names. But together we made it happen. Here we are. We are in these most unprecedented times. You hear historians say that we used to live in quieter and simpler times. And that may be true. Today, you hear people say that we are living through extraordinary circumstances. Someday, we will all look back on 2021 and remember what we all went through to survive and cope with COVID-19. In many ways, it has made all of us stronger. In my lifetime, I have seen the future become the present. As I graduated from high school in 1966, and I've lived through my own future. In this time, I have seen unbelievable changes in technology, space travel, and communications, just to name a few of these. These changes allow you, the graduates today, to see, to know, and to learn on a global stage, unparalleled by any stage before it. It is now your turn to build on the foundations laid before you by previous generations, to take the future into your own hands. Your generation will set the path for the next millennium. So my questions are these. What kind of future will you create? How will you pave your path? How do we answer such questions? John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, called us to create a future dedicated to service. He implored us to ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? Now, John F. Kennedy was speaking to Americans in that address. However, I feel this question asked to Americans in 1961 could now be asked by all the actors on our global stage in 2021. What can you do for your global community? John F. Kennedy offered Americans an example of global citizenry during his first few months in office when he established the Peace Corps. Since its inception, over 240,000 Americans have joined the Peace Corps and have served in 142 countries to help make the world a better place for everyone. He also exemplified global citizenry by joining a service organization larger than himself and dedicating himself to service. John F. Kennedy joined Rotary Club in Hyannisport, an organization grown from the idea of one man because he wanted to change and eradicate hunger, protect the environment, champion education, and defend justice for all. And that man was Paul Harris, and he did that in 1905. Today, there is more than 1.2 million Rotarians around the world and more than 30,000 Rotary clubs. And one of the biggest things Rotary did, they took on the pledge to eradicate polio worldwide. And one man started that organization. These individual men changed the future of the world all those years ago by adopting a growth mindset and service mentality. They are not alone in this. Countless people from around the world have also changed the course of history for the better through their humanitarianism, through their asking what can they do to help make the world a better place. Jimmy Carter and his Habitat for Humanity, Nelson Mandela and his ending of apartheid, Mother Teresa and her missionary outreach, and the list goes on and on and on. A single person can make a difference. You can make a change. A single person can plant a seed that will grow long past their own lives and continue shaping the future for the better. It may be easy for you to envision your own future, and all of its possibilities are infinite. To think that there will always think that in a few hours of playing video games won't cause a problem, that one more fight with a friend won't hurt anything in the long run, that one last bad decision won't have lasting consequences. There will always be more time to fix it later, right? There's a very special poem called The Dash. It was written by Linda Ellis. That poem talks about time. It talks about when you pass from this life and they put the dates on your headstone. They connect your birth date with your death date using a dash. This poem is about the little dash, and I would like to share an excerpt from this poem with you. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. If we treat each other with respect and more often with a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a while. Your little dash represents all that you do on this earth and all that you will be remembered for. It represents the seeds that you plant in this life and the ground they will grow from in their future. I challenge each and every one of you to make your dash one that you are very proud of. Right now, we all have the incredible gift of being able to fill in our dashes. They are not etched in stone. We have the power and the responsibilities to fill it with as much good as we possibly can. I know that I speak for all of us here at Saddlebrook when I say that we wish all of you every single last bit of good that your lives can possibly hold. We wish you a future filled with joy, with hope, with success, with friends, and with your family. We wish you a life that you can be proud of. In closing, I would like to personally share a bit of goodness with you in a form of a poem that is very special to me, and it goes like this. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson, for that excellent speech, and for your words of wisdom as you address our graduating seniors. Next, I would like to welcome our valedictorian, Mr. Samuel Winter, to the stage to present his speech to the class of 2021.
Good evening. My name is Sam Winter, and I'm extremely humbled and grateful to be able to speak to you as valedictorian of our class. First of all, I would like to thank all of the teachers, coaches, parents, students, and staff that have made this an unprecedented year. Not only possible, but the best it could have been during our current pandemic, which I'm sure we're all tired of hearing about. It was 4 years ago that we entered Christ Law. Some of us at Saddlebrook Prep, and some of us in other places. But here we are, now all together, celebrating a major milestone. Time really has passed in the blink of an eye. Over the last 4 years at Saddlebrook, we have certainly learned a lot. Ms. Carson taught us how to take the derivative of the integral of sin x to the 1000th. Ms. Plummer taught us how to positively act out Hamlet on a rough Monday morning. And Ms. Edmond not only taught us how to dissect a bullfrog, but how to use an Alexa. All of this knowledge instilled in us by our teachers will surely prove to be immensely valuable to us in our future endeavors. But I think that perhaps the most important thing that we have learned over the last 4 years is how to work together and build relationships with classmates, even though we are all from a diverse range of cultures. Let me give you just a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. The other week, we went on our school-wide field trip to tree hoppers. Everyone worked together and helped each other to figure out and work through the most challenging courses. Although there were one or a few difficult and uncomfortable obstacles, this made our experience there a lot more enjoyable. Our annual Saddlebrook is a perfect demonstration of all students of all grade levels working together in their different houses to compete and to try and come out on top. I don't think I've ever seen so much enthusiasm and determination, and some students were able to get out some anger and some logic. Saddlebrook is really a unique place. The combination of the academics and a chosen sport gives students the chance to have an unforgettable journey, but a chance to have a great future. Tennis here has really helped me to build my personality, responsibility, and helped me to maintain a hard-working attitude, most of the time. Without the dedicated help and consistent hard work that the tennis and performance training coaches put in each day, I would not be going where I am now. I'm sure that all of the student athletes here would agree with me when I say that their coaches and teachers have been an amazing gift to us. We are truly grateful for all that they do day in, day out to become better than we were the day before. I'm having mixed feelings at the moment, the feeling of sadness from leaving amazing teachers and friends, and the feeling of relief from not having to complete another piece of homework or an online assignment. At least not for now. What I am today is all because of the wonderful teachers and friends I met here. I would like to congratulate all of the graduates on their hard work here, especially this year. Graduating high school is surely a great accomplishment and something which you can take pride. I am sure we will all keep up the good work and that we will be all successful in our future endeavours. As a final thought going forwards, I'd like to leave you with a quote from Muhammad Ali. He said, "Friendship is the hardest thing in the world to explain. It is not something you learn in school, but if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything." Over the past 4 years of our lives, friendship has been and will continue to be a huge part of our lives, something that will stay with us forever. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sam, for that fantastic speech. Next, I would like to ask our Student Council President and salutatorian, Daisy Moses, to come to the stage and present her speech to her fellow classmates.
Good evening, graduates, parents, faculty, and honored guests. I would like to begin by thanking the administration for giving me the opportunity to speak to all of you tonight as this year's president of Student Council. Graduating high school is the first step in a long journey of discovering who we are and what kinds of morals we are going to represent. Although it is a surreal feeling to be moving on, I know we will all be successful in the unexpected road that life is going to take us. As we are all graduating, I want you all to move on with a feeling of pride and a sense of accomplishment for all the hard work you have put in to reach this point. Despite Mr. Izenki's harsh grading of the research papers and Ms. Robinson's massive homework packet, we have all overcome many obstacles in order to be here today. I have attended Saddlebrook Preparatory School for 4 years now, and I have had the pleasure of getting to know all of you during this time. I'm infinitely grateful to have made a multitude of memories with the graduating class of 2021. I would like to remind you of a few favors, like when we went on the STEM trip to the Keys and almost got our fingers taken off by pelicans, or when Mr. Robinson and Mr. Zankin lectured us during the PSAT because none of us had any of our college applications done, even though deadlines were quickly approaching. I am also sure everyone in this room remembers the intensity of Saddlebrook-a-thon, especially Ms. Palmer's enthusiasm to win, which she did. There are many defining characteristics of each of the members of the senior class. There's Lily's constant positivity, Leo's unique choice in suits, nicest sarcasm, Justin Oliver's humor, Sam's contagious energy, Ian always being tired of class, Walva's insane athletic ability, and I think you will always remember Neil and his ability to be charming. Despite our numerous differences, many of us have made lifelong friendships within our senior class, and now we share some indescribable memories. When I first came to Saddlebrook, I was only supposed to stay here for a year and then go back home to Kenya. And now somehow 4 years later, I'm still here and about to graduate. In turn, Saddlebrook has allowed me to meet some of my best friends that many times I've taken for granted. to the freshmen, sophomores, and upcoming seniors, do not make the same mistake that I made. Take time to appreciate the environment you are in and the people around you. Appreciate unexpected and unexplainable friendships like the one I have with Meg. I appreciate Ms. Edmonds' wacky humor, Ms. Carson's simple way of teaching math, Mr. Zanke's challenging courses, and Ms. Plummer's positive and understanding nature. Appreciate the challenges that are presented to you day by day because life will not be nearly as interesting without them. Thank you so much, Saddlebrook, for the lessons that we have continuously learned throughout our time here. Thank you to all the teachers, coaches, friends, and family that have contributed to our journey. In the wise words of the Saddlebrook tennis coaches, continue to want it more